All right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this new comic book Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. I'm going to give you a rundown on all the books on my pull list, some variants you should keep your eyes on, some other things that are coming out this week, and basically everything you need to be aware of before you go to your shop this Wednesday to pick up your new books. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro and I will be right back. All right, so like we do every week, we are going to start off with the top of the stack. These are the top books on the pile, those books I just can't wait to get a hold of and crack open and read this week when I grab my new books this Wednesday. We got those couple of storylines that I just can't wait to keep continuing, and some series that are really, really got me excited for New Comic Book Day. You know how that goes. So with that, this week's books that are right there at the top of the pile start with Exquisite Corpses #3. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this series as much as I have so far, but I really am digging it. I like it. I like the storyline. I'm on board. I want to see more. I can't wait for each issue to come out, and we are only at issue 3 so far. So with that, we've got issue 3. We've got the cover A. We've got cover B's for you, which is just well, I was going to say a version, but no, there's a little title up top there on the side. We've got like a secret release type of cover, almost like an FOC cover. They don't announce the artist till late in the game. We've also got the polybagged version of that cover A that has the playing card from the game that you can play, this card game that they're building out with this Exquisite Corpses. So you got your card here. This one costs like $2 more than your regulars. I think it's like $6.99, where the regular cover is like $4.99. So if you're into collecting those, I'm just getting them just because I don't know what I'm going to do with the card game, but I'm collecting them. And with that, don't forget that each shop is also getting, as they have been, their one per store, one per account thank you edition foils. So keep an eye on that if you like collecting those. Hopefully you got a good relationship with your LCS. Otherwise, you got to pay a little bit of a premium because even these do pretty well. Something to keep an eye on. I don't know how long this trend is going to continue, but the first couple have done pretty well right out of the gate, doing like $40 to $50. So even more. Even hitting more than that. So just something to keep an eye on if you're interested in getting those one per store type books. With that, you can get the incentives on this pretty darn cheap. I mean, I've seen the 1 in 25 here listed for like $9 online if you want to go for that. So we do have a 1 in 25 option, as well as a 1 in 50 if you'd rather go that route. And even those are not that expensive. Again, you can find them for a ratio less than half a ratio in some places if you decide to go and pick one of those up. But with that said, that's the top of the pile. But I'm also really interested in, yes, the next X-Men event. I know I'm a sucker for the X-Men, and I'm always willing to give them a brand new chance every time we get some new event or some new restart, some new series, etc. Here, they're going to be following up on basically one of my favorite storylines, which was Age of Apocalypse. So this Age of Revelation, I'm hoping, is something very similar or akin to that series. I'm not looking for a carbon copy, obviously. I want to see something new and different, but I hope it's kind of in that same vein because I loved Age of Apocalypse. So if Age of Revelation can be anything close to that, I'm happy. So with that, we do have this Zero issue coming out this week, which is introducing this upcoming event that's not actually kicking off until September and October. I think the early preview books will come out in like September, or the lead-in, the tie-ins that kind of kick it off. But the main event doesn't start, I don't think, until October. So we've got time. This is just giving us kind of a heads up. This issue 0 is coming out this week. It's like $4.99. Just got the one cover. But last week, I think a lot of shops did get their one per store, these polybag version. So this one, something again to still keep an eye on. It did well last week, so well that it was #1 on the Hot 10 list last week. You know, averaging like $32 with plenty of copies selling $50 to $60 at auction. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Again, one per store / one per account, depending on how things get delivered. This was polybagged. It's kind of like those other one per store / accounts that Marvel did last year or the year before. So we'll see if they continue to do these. But this Age of Revelation begins here. The Umberto Ramos cover did have a lot of traction last week. We'll see how it goes again this week. But the regular edition that you could buy for $5 also comes out. So you can get that Stegman cover for $5 if you want to. Again, something else right there at the top of my pile that I want to read, along with Moon Knight. Yes, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, number 10. I've been slowly, trying to catch up and read this series. I have been liking Moon Knight. I've liked what Jed MacKay has done the last couple of years with the title. Here we go, Legacy issue 250. Can you believe we're here? Legacy 250. So this is sort of an event book kicking off a new storyline. So I'm on board to check this out. We've got a cover A here. We've got Stephen Platt coming back doing covers on Moon Knight. So can't go wrong there. I'm definitely looking forward to that. That cover right there. We've also got a 1 in 25 option here as well. Anything I'm missing, they're going to show up later on in the show in other segments. But there's the 1 in 25 by E.M. Gist, which is also pretty cool. But the splat is probably my favorite. So the Stephen Platt cover is probably my favorite of this bunch. Moving on. Green Arrow is just a good read. Thanks to Barlord for recommending this one. It's just a solid read, and I'm still on board to keep getting more. So we had that freshwater killer thing kind of wrap up recently. Now we're kind of starting a newer storyline here. So again, I'm on board. I'm enjoying reading Green Arrow these days, which is a surprise because I've never been a huge Green Arrow guy, but it's been enjoyable. So we've got two covers here. We got a cover A. We've got a cover B. Personally, I'm just probably good with getting the cover A because it's $1 cheaper, but either would do. Like I said, I just want to open this thing and actually read it. So no need to worry about incentives here, as there are none, just the two covers. Pick whichever one you like. Like I said, I'm probably going to save the buck and go with A. Finally, surprised I enjoyed this as well. I feel like I also kind of needed it. I'm kind of curious of how we're going to see where we're kind of wrapping up or kind of baseline putting the current DC universe. So this new history of the DC universe that Mark Waid is writing for us, it is just what it is. It's just kind of like a recap of all the historical events, but putting it all into context, and some context that I think I kind of needed, and I kind of needed a refresher. So I did enjoy the first issue, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it because, again, it kind of reminds me of things that are kind of hazy in my mind that I might have read 2 decades ago that I don't really remember. Crisis on Infinite Earths, all that, well, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like old books and storylines that I read, this just kind of puts things more in perspective so I can keep up and remember and go, oh yeah, that's how that went. Because again, my memory's not what it used to be. I'm getting older. With that said, issue 2 is coming out this week. We got to cover A. We got to cover B, which might be the route I go. These Dan Mora character covers, because I think I got the Wonder Woman for issue 1. So I'm going to probably grab the Batman for issue 2. Because I just kind of like the character spotlight. I just like and then the background with the, almost like the black and white or blue and white. It's just kind of cool. So, yes, I do think the Superman Batman high five down there in the corner, as you can see, is kind of silly, but it's kind of good silly. With that said, other good options here. The Frank Cho isn't bad either with this Black Canary. Yes, Black Canary is thick, but I like it, and I like this Canary cover. So this is also an option. And if you love those there's Where's Waldo type covers where you've got hundreds and hundreds of characters, well, they've got you covered with that too, because the new history of the DC Universe book 2 has even more characters. Look how these dudes and ladies are packed in there. They're packed in there tight. And this is book 2. There we go again. You can see it's a wraparound. So look at all those characters. And then when you add in the fact that, again, this connects with issue 1, and we still got 2 more to go, there are a lot of characters to cover in the DC universe. So here we go. This is issue 2, and then we've got issue 1 where you connect it. Yeah, look at that thing. It's be a massive, massive character, little headshots. Reminds me of what George Perez used to do back in the day as well. But, it's just kind of fun. I do like those, but I don't think this is the route I'm going because I can't buy too many copies of the same book. But with that said, there's a foil too. If you want to go the foil route, it's kind of has that classic Crisis vibe to it. We've also got an incentive if you want to go that way with the 1 in 25 here as well by Walt Simonson. So pick your pleasure, pick your poison, whichever one you like. Like I said, I'm kind of up in the air between the Cho and the character, the Batman one, but the connecting covers would be cool. But we'll see. With that said, that's the top of the stack, but the rest of my pull list is here and coming up next. And once again, it's a big week on my wallet. I don't know why, I'm reading so many books these days, but apparently I am. and I'm like building this deck out, and I'm like, Jesus, this is on my pull list, and this is on my pull list. Oh, gotta keep so with this. I might need to start making some cuts soon because it's hard keeping up with everything. Starting off with the absolute stuff. So here we go. This week's absolute DC books. We've got Absolute Martian Manhunter number 5. And yes, admittedly, I'm like an issue behind on this. So here's one I got to catch up. But I'm probably going to read this and ride this out no matter what. It's just this might take a pause from the reading pile and start going into the catch-up pile pretty soon. But with that, we got to cover A. You got to cover B option as well. And then we've got a C. And then I think we've got some incentive options here. All of these are pretty similar and all pretty good. C might be a slight edge favorite of mine, but saving a buck and just getting the cover A is probably the way I'm going to go. Again, any way to save money so I can get more comic books is kind of the decision-making process I make these days. Because I don't know about you, but reading, 15 to 20 books each week is pretty darn expensive these days. I mean, these aren't $1 book anymore. These aren't $1 a book anymore. These are $5, $6, $7 in a lot of cases. So it's getting pricey. It's getting pricey. But with that said, we've got incentives. So if you want to go the incentive route, we got a 1 in 25. Not bad. We've also got a 1 in 50, which is also kind of cool. All of these covers throughout this entire run have been sort of this, I don't know, the artsy kind of, I can't think of the vibe or the surrealist kind of thing that we're going with. It's not surrealism, but I guess part of it is, and some of it is, but not all of it is. You got like the Picasso kind of vibes and things like that. Definitely cool. Definitely very bright, very colorful. But I'm, again, fine just getting that A just to keep reading this thing once I can catch up. But with that, Absolute Wonder Woman is also coming out this week. And I really like this cover A. It's kind of, kind of makes me kind of curious where we're going here. But, yeah, we've got a cover A with issue 10. I believe we're already up to issue 10. But we've got a cover A here. Cover B was solid at first until it looked like, like her nose got squished. Like she got punched in the nose there. But still pretty cool. But I'm going to go with the A. Save that buck. C is not bad. It is kind of cool. Very tempting. Very tempting. But I think I'll save that buck and, again, go with the A. 1 in 25 option here as well. Not bad. And that's it. No 1 in 50 here. So it looks like they're easing off the gas on some of these higher ratio incentives as we get deeper into these absolute books, which I think is a good thing. We don't need so many covers. Even doing 3, I think, is a bit much. You do an A, B, and an incentive, I think you're golden. That's probably where you should cut it off. But that's just my personal preference and what I think was probably the best. But if people are buying them, I guess more options can't hurt. With that said, Hush. Hush is continuing. It's all right. I mean, I don't know. I don't love it, but it's continuing. I do love Jim Lee still. But here we go. Part 4 already? Jeez, we're already at part 4. Issue 161. I think this is only running 6, so this is almost over. We're in the second half. We're in the downward slope of the storyline here, I believe. So issue 4, or part 4 with issue 161. We got to cover A. And yes, there's even a Giants. I'm not even covering those things anymore. There's a giant size one and a big ass foil one for like $15, and then foil $20 if you want to go buy those huge books, which I think is a very bad idea to do right from Jump Street. That's the kind of thing when you do those treasury size books and those, hey, you got to see the art in full size. That's something when something's beloved and has been out for a while. Do that with the original run. Do that with something classic like a Watchmen or something like that. Don't do that day and date release with the regular Batman Hush title, because who's got the money to keep up with this? You're going to spend $5 for the regular book to read, and then you're going to spend $15 for a giant size version of it, or you're just going to read the giant size version just so you can feel like you got shrunk down and you can sit on your couch with this huge ass book and read it. I don't know. It just seems weird. With that said, plenty of covers here. Cover A, cover B here. We've got a cover C option here as well with Frank Cho. I like it. We've got a George Perez cover. So apparently this has been delayed a little bit because this is supposed to come out, I think, a month or so ago. That was last month's batch of DC variants. But we're getting a little slow here, Batman. And considering you guys knew this was coming for a while, this should have been wrapped up. All the issues should have been done and wrapped up. We shouldn't be having delays. But here we are. We've also got the Delato connecting cover set here. So as you can see, I mean, Hush right there is split right in half. So you know it's part of a connecting set. And let's take a look at the rest of it, I guess. So we've got issue 161, we got 160, we got 159. We could shift them over a little bit. We should go all the way back to 158 where it all started. So we've got all 4 parts here if you want to see them just kind of shifted on down the line. It's a pretty cool connecting cover set if you want to go and get them all. At this point, I didn't, so I'd have to go back and chase them, but I don't think it's hard to find them. And I think you might even find them at a discount. So maybe when this is all said and done, I might go dig in the discount boxes, half off a cover, and look for these things or something like that. Maybe collect the set that way. But for now, I'm fine getting the Jim Lee cover A's and being done with it. Yes, there's a foil option if you want to go that route too. I don't think I need shiny foil. Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is. It's shiny foil. It just makes it almost like a virgin cover, but foil. Then we've also got a 1 in 25. It's actually kind of cool. I do like that. I don't know, something. It's got that old school Sin City Frank Miller style effect there with the rain, which I actually kind of like when it's done well. And with that, we got a 1 in 50. So we move the 1 in 25 out of the way. We got a solid 1 in 50. And we do have the 1 in 100 virgin version of the Batman cover that was also shiny foil, but now it's virgin, but without the foil. Whatever. I don't need it, but it's out there. Moving on. Green Lantern. So, been reading Green Lantern lately. Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. Enjoying them. The Starbreaker Supremacy begins. Okay, I'm intrigued. We'll see where we're going here. Legacy 592. Building towards, I'm assuming, a big event for 600. We'll see how we do when we get there. But here we are with issue 25 of the current run. Also an anniversary in and of itself. But, cover A. We've also got other options here with the B. We've also got a C, which is kind of cool. We've also got a D cover, if you want to go that way, and a blank. Again, anniversary-wise, I think is why we have a couple extras this month, along with a glow-in-the-dark, if you want to go that way. Could be cool. I gotta have to see it to see what it actually looks like, but there is a glow-in-the-dark cover, as well as a 1 in 25 incentive. So, once again, pick the one that you like, and yeah, just go with that. Only one cover here to pick from for Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins, issue 2. I just collect these things. I like the show quite a bit. The comics are all right. I'm not up to date on reading all the comics. I do have them all. I got a big collected edition because, I don't know, when I really like a show, I go and collect the comics, even if I read them or not. That's why I keep buying Witcher books, and I'm not even reading all of them, but I really like the show, and I also like the game, so I just collect stuff sometimes. You know how it goes? It's like Assassin's Creed books is another thing that I do. I can't tell you the last time I read an Assassin's Creed comic, but I go and collect them because I love the games. I don't know. It's habit forming, I guess. But with that, this is issue 2. One choice. Get it if you need it. Feral, issue 15 coming out this week as well. Pretty cool. Here we are in Pet City, enjoying this story, enjoying where this is taking us. I can't recommend this enough. It's a good read. It's fun. I get the B covers here. That's the cover A. I've been from the start. I've been getting the movie poster homages. I think this is from The Conjuring. So these are the ones I get. So that's what I got coming my way. But there is a 1 in 10, which is a virgin version of that cover A, if you want to go that route. So there you go. Top of that, we've got Geiger, Ghost Machine. Also enjoying Ghost Machine. I can't keep up with all of Ghost Machine. We'll get to a couple other books later. But this week's installment of Geiger, definitely grabbing that. We got 3 options on the covers. We got an A, we got a B, and we've got a C. Kyle Holtz is pretty cool there. But much like every month, they're all solid. So you can go with any of these and not go wrong, in my opinion. And they all cost the same. So unlike DC, you're not going to save any money by getting the cover A. So again, pick the one that jumps out to you, the one that you like best. For me, I don't know. The Holtz is pretty cool because it kind of reminds me of Spectre there. But really, any of them will do. Any of them will do. I have to see what looks best in hand on day of. So with that, moving on. Monstrous. Yes, I'm still behind reading, but there's no doubt I'm picking up this series, and it's going in the pile. It's going in the box. I'm going to have this entire run. When it's all said and done, this is going to be a classic run. And again, the cover art and art inside alone is worth the price of admission. So 58, getting this for sure. Void Rivals, coming out with issue 21. We're continuing the storylines here. You know I'm on board for the Energon stuff, so the Energon universe, I'm definitely picking these up. A, B, Not very exciting on either of these, but so choose the one that you like. If you want to go the incentive route, there is the 1 in 10, which is a connecting cover set. As you know, they've been doing this the entire way over on the Skybound stuff. So there you go. We've got the last 3 issues connecting up. Actually, 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So that's all we got. Going back to 19, the 1 in 10s form this set so far. It'll end probably with the story arc, but we've also got a 1 in 25 if you want to go that route. And there's also a 1 in 50 showing off Rodimus or Hot Rod there. I was going to say Rodimus Prime, but just Hot Rod at this point. But with that, moving on to The Last Boy. Dan Panosian, writing Peter Pan. Didn't think I would like it, but yeah, it's all right. I also like the covers here and I like the art. I like, again, Dan Panosian's art. I'm biased. I'm a fan. So getting the Panosian cover, though, the other options aren't bad. We got a B here. And we've also got a C cover here. And then we've also got virgin versions of all of these. Now, this was like the FOC unlockable or whatever. So if shops ordered enough, they can get the unlockable of the virgin cover A. The virgin on the cover B is what's the 1 in 10. So you can get that. Then we've also got the cover C, or the third cover option is also a virgin, but it's the 1 in 25. So again, get which one you like if you want it. Moving on, Amazing Spider-Man, number 8, current run. It's been all right. I mean, the Hellgate stuff's a little weird. I'm not loving Hellgate as a character just yet, but it was a welcome change. I don't know. Just the last year or so of Spidey was kind of rough, but the restart had me on board. I don't know. Point being, I'm not loving the JR cover here on the cover A. I will admit that, but some of the other covers are well worth it. We've got a Delano here, which is pretty solid. I like this one. So you got this option. And then another one of my favorites, you got the Jeff DeCall here with the Black Cat. That looks really good. We've got a 1 in 25 option here by Humberto Ramos, if you want to go that way. And then we've even got a virgin version of that Delano for the 1 in 100. So, again, solid covers all around except for cover A. Oh, well. I can't win them all, I guess. With that, Psylocke. I didn't think I'd like the Psylocke run, but I have. I've enjoyed reading this. I like it. I thought it was just going to be a book that sells you covers, kind of like the Emma Frost book, but so far so good. I'm still enjoying the stories. So issue 9, pretty cool cover here with her digging herself out of the grave. We're getting some, some more origin background type stuff, which is always good. We got another cover we'll look at later, but here's the 1 in 25, which I actually like. I know the SNS boys were ripping this one, I think, on the show this past weekend, but I like this cover. I like the dragon in the background. I like the pops of cover. I like what Maria Wolf brings to these covers. I like the style. It's got kind of like a classic 90s kind of bad girl throwback kind of vibe a little bit, but also, I don't know. I like the colors. I just like it. So I'm on board. I like this one. With that, Afra issue 2, cover A, not bad. I like it. So she's working with Luke. Interesting. We've got a cover B option here if you want to go that way. I'm still probably getting the A. And we got a cover C option, which, again, ain't bad. I think she's playing Sabak. You got those Sabak cards getting thrown at you. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed playing Sabak once I learned how to play it in Outlaws, in the video game Outlaws. It's like a little side game you can play in there. It makes sense, and I like playing those side little games that they put in there, just like Gwent in Witcher. I don't know. Call me weird. I like the little weird extra games they put in games. The game within a game. But with that said, A or C for me here. There is a 1 in 25. Not bad by Ricky Yagawa. But again, I don't feel like paying that premium, so I'm probably just going to go A or C. Moving on. Storm. Also, surprised I've been enjoying the Storm run so far. Liking it. Dig it. Thunder War begins. Okay, here we go. We're getting some big stuff coming our way now. Stuff that goes back all the way to issue 1. So here we go with issue 10. And we got a cover A. Oh, here's more text, and we've got some other explanations of what's to come. Fine. But we got this cover, and we got the 1 in 25. We do have another option. We'll get to it later. But I'm fine just getting the A or the retro cover, which we will cover once we get to that segment. But before we get there, we still got the next issue of Uncanny X-Men, which, it's all right. Mutant Appreciation Day Festival. All right. We've got that. It's kind of a fun cover there. I don't know if we need Logan throwing up, but It is kind of fun to see the X-Men outside of just big fight scenes. So that's kind of nice. And yes, Greg Land's got a cover here with, Rogue doing her best Remy. Cool, I guess. We got a 1 in 25 here, too, featuring Mutina again. So I guess she's showing up again in this issue. And we got a 1 in 100. Is it a 1 in 1? I think it's a 1 in 100. Or is it 1 in 50? I guess it's a 1 in 100 because that's what I got it marked. A version of that Rogue cover. So, yeah, go that route if you want to go and pay that kind of premium. Me, like I said, I'd probably go with the A and just be done with it. But with that said, anybody out there who hasn't tried Whatnot yet, now's your chance. Sign up using my link down below. You get yourselves a free $15 off your first purchase. Buy anything you want from whomever you want. No strings attached. I will probably be doing a show within the next week or so over on Whatnot. I got some of these Fantastic Four packs to sell or to go and auction off. I've also got Superman Milk Bone that I'll probably throw out there. Maybe even I'll put the box of Milk Bones in there. But yeah, I did get those Whatnot packs, so I will have these and probably do a sale and just get rid of a bunch of other stuff too that I have. You guys, I got a lot of comics. I need to clear space. So apart from doing some sales like this over on Whatnot, maybe throw some more stuff up on eBay, I'm just trying to clear space. I'm not so much worried about the return on investment. I need space. So also come see us at Baltimore because I'm just going to be giving away a lot of books once I go to Baltimore this year. But getting way ahead of myself with all that stuff. For now, let's stick with this show and let's get to the blind picks. So more to come on the Whatnot show. So follow me on IG, all that stuff, and you'll find out more. I might even post a little story here on YouTube. But with that said, blind picks for this week. I've got one book. I'm betting on a blind that's going to be good. I want to read it. I like the creators involved. So what is it this week? This week, The Voice Said Kill. Got Cy Spurrier, Vanessa Del Rey. I trust them. I like the idea. We got Louisiana Bayou, alligator poachers. Maybe it's I just watched Bear Grylls where he was in a swamp down there, and I'm now in like Bayou mode, I guess. I don't know. It's just in my head. But with that, I'm interested in this. So we got 4 extra length issues of Fever Dream Cajun Crime. Sure, I like a good crime book. So I'm going to give this one a shot, and I'm hoping it's going to be good. So on a blind, I think it's going to be solid. Cover A here. Well, this is what I'm going to get because I'm not going the incentive route because there is a 1 in 25 and there is a 1 in 50. But I'm just going to go with the cover A because I don't want to pay the premium there. And plus, I don't know, the throwing up on the toilet is kind of a odd choice for the 1 in 50. But I got to read the story to know what we're talking about here. But as unpleasant as that image is, let's get into the taste test. So with the blind pick, here's something as far as a taste test goes that I think I need to go back and try. Book, I didn't really give much of a shot to. I think I need to give it a fair shake this time out this week. Last week, it was Nightwing. I wanted to get back on board with Nightwing. It's all right. I could get back to reading it again, maybe. But this week, Mr. Terrific. So we got issue 3 of Mr. Terrific Year 1. I finally got to see Superman this week. And yes, Mr. Terrific kind of did steal the show a bit. Got me more interested in the character. So now I'm kind of more curious to go and read this story after seeing the movie and being more on board for Mr. Terrific. Because, he's goddamn Mr. Terrific. And with that, like I said, I'm on board. I liked him in the movie. I liked the movie. Thought it was well done. I like what Gunn is doing. So far, so good. We haven't gotten a lot yet. So far, so good. Cover A is pretty cool. I do like the running away over this tabletop, but this Raza on the B is pretty solid. So I might get the Raza. And like I said, I got to pick up the issues 1 and 2, and I'm just going to catch up and, read this thing. So that's my plan, at least. And I'm going to try to stick to it. With that said, one more reminder for you guys. You guys need supplies. Use my code RENA10 to save 10% off your BCW order. You can get your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, your CGC boxes, top loaders, pages for your cards, basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You can find something over there at BCW and might as well save some money off your whole order. You help out the channel. Use the code RENA10 to save 10% off the whole thing. And again, save yourself a few bucks. Because why not? With that said, let's go on to the big event book. Now, we'll eventually have that Age of Revelation here. I'm probably going to do a similar thing where we're running through the whole event and with tie-ins, issues, etc. But for this continuing month. We're still doing One World Under Doom. Unfortunately, this isn't over yet. But here we go. 3 more issues this week. We've got, I think, the Runaways starting us off first, right? Is that our first one? Yeah. So Runaways issue 2. Chase Stein back from the future. All right, Chase is back. They're kind of bringing the whole band back together, I guess. I did like the original Runaways team. I like the first couple of runs, first couple of series. It's been a while since I've read them, but I don't know. I just don't know if I care about Doom and all this stuff these days because it's really dragging on for me. But here we go, issue 2, more Doombots, I guess, on this B cover, and then we've also got a C cover, which ain't bad. So pick whichever one you like. No incentives. 1, 2, or 3. Those are your options. Or A, B, and C. We're also getting issue 5 of Doom's Division, which is Tiger Division and all of our Asian superhero characters that have been introduced the last few years. Our White Fox and Luna Snow and Arrow and Wave, etc. This whole squad, I did not like the first issue of this. I didn't even bother reading anymore. Don't know if it got any better. It just wasn't for me. But issue 5 is finally coming out with 1 cover, 2 covers with Doom spilling his drink. I usually like a throne cover, but that looks like he's sitting on a Minecraft throne and he's just dumping his drink out like a petulant child. I don't know. Not into that cover. And then we've got this whole kind of team up, kind of thing going. We got Sunfire showing up and I forget, was it Taguchi? Or I can't remember his name. The Taiwanese character, whatever. Dude, front and center. I can't remember all their names because, again, these characters didn't connect with me. So I'm not really following the new Agents of Atlas. I like the old school Agents of Atlas with Jimmy Woo when you had the Gorilla Man and Namorita. I like that squad. But we got a new one here. With that said, moving on. 3rd book, tie-in. No core issues of the Doom event right now. So Insurgent Iron Man. This is the finale. This is the final issue of this era or this run of Iron Man, and then we'll get a restart coming soon. So Ironmonger triumphant. Oh boy, we'll see. Cover A, solid. This art of Marvel Television, I guess, is for Ironheart. It's okay, I guess. If you like those, I don't like those. I just think you can buy an art book at Barnes and Noble, or the kind of thing that a family member will get you at Christmas because they think, well, they like comic books, so they'll like this art book because we got it for $5 at Barnes and Noble because nobody wanted to buy it in the first place. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, and then we got a Mahfoud cover C, I guess 3rd cover option, which again is pretty cool. This cover reminds me of those old school steampunk ones that they did way back when. I know DC did the steampunk, but Marvel also did something similar along the way. So kind of reminds me of that because I think Scotty Young did it for the Iron Man one. But anyway, moving on. Apart from covering One World Under Doom, just for this month, I decided to cover Gotham City Sirens because it's a special month with the storyline taking over those 3 core titles. And we also had a bunch of side covers, side variant covers that were intermixed into. This week, no extra covers, but we do have the core mini-series, I guess, issue 4 coming out. So here we go with Gotham City Sirens, Unfit for Orbit. Girls are still in space. The synopsis is still the same for the entire month. We got a cover A, the Nubovich cover B. Gotten used to this rundown. So you got a cover A, you got the Nubovich on the cover, or the Dodson on the A, Nubovich on the B, and then we got a Gillum March on the C, and then we've also got a foil edition of the Gillum March that you can buy as well. And both the foil and the trade dress versions of the marches are connecting covers. So here you go. That's with the foil, because the foil looks more like a Virgin cover, and then they all connect. So let's take a look at what we've got so far. So this is issue 4. We connect with issue 3, and you got what's his name? It's Despero, right? Is that his name? Despero. Isn't that the villain from Psych? Anyway, Carrie Elway's character. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked thinking about Psych and Gotham City Sirens. But all these covers, again, connect so far. So good. Here we go. You look at the whole run. I decided to try something different. If you guys noticed with those connecting covers, just making them really big and just kind of sliding the picture down. Let me know if you like that way instead of, because when we get the bigger ones, we get to 4, I got to shrink them down real small, and you can't really get a good look. So I thought this made more sense. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. Then apart from all that, we do have a 1 in 25 with another picture frame, but this time of all the ladies. The first three, we had individual spotlights of one of each. Now we've got all three on issue 5, on issue 4. I believe issue 5 is going to do the same thing with all three of them on that filigree, frame cover. But with that and all these books, there's a lot. I mean, I have a lot of books that I'm pulling, as you saw. A lot of big pull list, top of the pile, all that stuff. A lot of books I'm reading this week, but there's plenty I left on the rack. So that's what we have here. These are books that I'm not particularly picking up, but I think we need to just kind of keep an eye on what's going on. And some of you guys might be interested in these books, even though I'm not personally buying them or picking them up this week. So on the rack this week, we've got a bunch of titles. We'll start off on DC. And the DC versus Vampires, World War V. It's just something I never really got into. But the little dips I've taken in, I've kind of enjoyed it, but I just feel so behind on the lore of who's a vampire, who's not, and they've got like these kingdoms and fiefdoms and all this crazy stuff. I just feel lost. So until I got time to go back and read the whole thing, I just don't think this Elseworlds title is for me until I get there. But it is pretty cool. We got the new gods entering the fray apparently here in this particular issue 11. So we've got this cover here. Always got great covers on these books too, by the way. We got a Ryan Brown. I think it's Gorilla Grodd, just looking awesome there. And then we do have a pretty cool Supergirl option here as well, which nearly made the cut for my favorite covers, my top 5 covers of the week, but just got edged out by some other stuff. So moving on from there, Justice League Unlimited. Like I said, I started reading the title at the beginning, but those team-up books, I lose interest so quickly, or I just can't keep up, and I don't know. But with that, I'm just not getting Justice League Unlimited here at number 9. I tried to keep up with that We Are Yesterday storyline, but here we are picking up after that with the epilogue. I'll read this eventually. It's just for this week, just not grabbing it right now. I'll get to it eventually. We've got a cover A. You've got that B cover. We've also got a C cover here, which is actually pretty cool. I like the Joker, Martian Manhunter interchanging or mid-morph, whatever we want to call this. Just looks pretty cool. Looks like something from Gods and Monsters, the fighting game. The DC, what is it? Why am I drawing a blank on what the DC fighting game was called? Anyway, reminds me of that. But with that, more covers here. You got this huge Justice League team with the Hall of Justice in the background. You got a Derek Chew option here with the Gotham City Sirens. Maybe this was a Gotham City Sirens cover and I forgot to put it in there. It looks like it. This might be a Sirens cover that I missed and should have been in the other segment. So here, restack that. Put that in the last segment. And if you're interested, here's another one for you. Another cover just of the team that's from way down here. I guess an Adam-sized view of some coffee mugs and up everybody's noses. With that said, no incentives to worry about. So all open order. Pick the one that you like. Also coming out this week, Superman, Legion of Darkseid Part 1. I'll admit, this one almost kind of intrigued me to the point that I wanted to get this. Because, one, I enjoyed the movie. It's got me in a kind of a Superman mood. You know what I mean? Things will do that sometimes. And I'm like, maybe I could read a little bit more Superman right now. Even though usually as a character, I'm not that interested. Maybe I could read this. Now you're mixing Darkseid in there. I do like a good Darkseid story. So, I don't know. Maybe. But with that for now, I'm leaving it on the rack because unless I might impulse buy it, but the plan going into Wednesday is I'm not picking it up, though I might be talking myself into picking it up as I'm doing this show right now. With that, cover A, Summer of Superman. Other good covers here. You got a Zerdy, not bad there. There's a Gillum March with, Soups holding his crypto bowl. Then we've got this option here. I think it's a Tula Lote, like this. And then we also have a foil edition of that cover A if you want to go that route. And then we do have a 1 in 25 incentive as well, if you like to go there, with a very, very worried Lex looking over Superman. We'll see. But that's issue 28. Moving on from there. Spawn. Spawn as a title and all of the many, many spin-offs is just something I personally just can't keep up with. But I get it. There's a lot of fans, and a lot of these do have cool covers. So I will say, this Bloodletter is a pretty solid cover. I don't know what's going on in this book because I'm not reading it, pretty solid cover. And it's just, again, it's just a title I don't think I can get into. Just the whole lore behind Spawn these days has just gotten so expansive. I don't think I can try to dip a toe in that pool again. So with that said, we've got that cool cover. And with that, we've also got The Curse of Shirley Johnson continuing. I know this got a lot of hype coming out, and I did pick up the first issue because I like one of the covers, and I am picking up the second issue, actually. So even though it says on the rack, I am getting the Dan Panosian cover because it's Dan Panosian, and I like it. But normally, as a title, this isn't a title that I would be getting. I'm just getting it just for the Panosian art. Maybe I'll sit down and read it, but I'm probably not going to know what the hell's going on anyway. Just to be fair. With that, Gunslinger, another Spawn book. They're 45 issues in already. Cool covers here. Cover A and a cover B. But again, I'm just not a Gunslinger Spawn guy. That's all. Rat City. I tried reading Rat City at the start. It just didn't really appeal to me. It felt like Spawn 2099. And in a weird way, I don't know. And they were like soldiers. It was like I don't know. It's like a Splinter Cell meets Spawn in the future. I don't know. But Rat City, some people really like it. And I'm not judging anybody for it. It's just something I couldn't keep up with. It just didn't grab me from the start. So I had to leave it behind. 2 covers here. I do like that B cover. I like him looking over this futuristic cityscape. It's kind of cool. And Department of Truth. Again, it's another title. I just couldn't keep up. We're 32 issues in now. I know. Tinian. I always say his name wrong. But he's got so many books. Very good writer. I like a lot. Again, Exquisite Corpses, one of my favorites right now. But I just can't keep up on Department of Truth. But we've got a new installment coming out with issue 32. There's a 1 in 10. There's also a 1 in 25. So get either of those if you want them. It's pretty cool, pretty creepy. I like that. It reminds me of the Edward Munch, the Scream. That art piece kind of reminds me of that. But I think you even see the hands. I like it. It's like a mix of that and the Faceless Businessman with the bowler hat, but I think this is a top hat. Still pretty cool. I don't know. Take an art history class if you know what I'm talking about. Or do some Googling. With that said, moving on. Hornsby and Halo, issue 8. This is one of the Ghost Machine books. It just didn't grab me all that much. Like I was getting the whole Good Omens vibe, and I get it, and reminded me of Preacher a little bit, and I don't know. Just didn't seem like it was for me, so I just couldn't keep up. Again, limited budget. Everybody's got a budget. You got to draw the line sometime. Cover A, we got cover B, and we got a cover C. So pick whichever one you like. You got 3 options. They're all open order. They're all $4 if you want to keep up with that. Just like Rockefellers. Rockefellers, yeah, it's like the Image Universe version of the FF, I guess. I just didn't grab me, so I left this one pretty early. Jumped off board pretty early on. But it's still coming out with issue 7. We got 1. We got 2. We got 3. And we've even got an FF homage here on the 4th cover. Pick your poison. This next one's a weird cover. And this, we probably should credit this book for the revamp, the restarts, the re-energizing of the horror anthology book. Ice Cream Man was probably one of the ones that kicked this off to get us back to this point where we are now. I'm loving all these stories. I'm like the Hello Darknesses and the EC horror stuff that we're getting with the Cruel Kingdoms and all that. I'm loving all this stuff. Good reads, good stories. I think we got to thank Ice Cream Man. And this is a title I probably should get back into reading again. It's just been so long. I don't think I've read this since the first 6 issues. And we're at what? I don't even know what issue this is because this weird ass cover. 44. It looks reading like a police file. Either that or it's like a police file from the game of Guess Who. Like, does your character have hair? No. That's what I'm thinking of when I look at this. Anyway, B cover, I do like. The melting ice cream head of the Ice Cream Man. That's a pretty cool cover. I actually do kind of like that. But maybe I need to try this again. I don't know. Maybe, but if I do, I'm going to go with the B cover. Sleep. I just didn't like this. I didn't like this from the start. It was weird read, and this is the one where he had his weird friends. His friend was named Hip or something. That was that one, right? And then like he goes to sleep, turns into a monster and kills people. I don't know. It's okay, but it just didn't grab me. I mean, there's the monster, I guess. But issue 3 already, we got 2 covers. Pick the one that you like. It just one just didn't grab me. Just like Fantastic Four Fanfare, don't know who this was for. I think there's way too many FF books out there right now. Yeah, I'm liking the Thing solo book. I actually liked the Fantastic Four #1, the restart so far, and I'm looking forward to the movie, even though I don't know if I'm going to have time to see it this weekend. I'm going to try, but I'm looking forward to it. Despite what anybody says, well, tomorrow MCU burnout, all that stuff, then don't go. I don't care. I don't need to hear it from you. If you're going to go, go. If you're not, then don't go. What do I care? I'm going to try to go. I just don't have the free time to go. With that said, I'm not buying this book, though, because I read the first one. It's just the weird anthologies. It's just unnecessary. Like, how many titles do we need covering this team? I don't think we need this. That's all. It's just not for me. Cover A. Cover B, I believe there's a connecting cover set. I'll show it once it's done, because I think it goes like weird up and down or square or something. And then we got a Jack Kirby 1 in 50 Hidden Gems cover, which, yeah, it looks like a stamp. But moving on. The Haunting of Gwenpool. Issue 3. This is Cavan Scott. I probably should be reading this, but as a character, I'm just not a big Gwenpool fan. It's, I like some of the covers. Not so much the cover A's here, but the cover B, not bad. Not bad. I kind of like the B, but I don't really care for the A. Moving on. I get it. A lot of people like Jeff the Land Shark. He's a fun little character. I got the increased, profile with the Marvel Rivals game, etc. But I read this first issue. This is not for me. And I know it's all ages, but you got to make an all ages book. You need to find a way to make this book like $2 or something, because it's just not. You can't be charging kids $4 or $5 for comics these days. If you really want to get kids on board and it's a kids book, you're not doing much writing. I mean, he's fighting the Shadow Jeff here. With that cover A, we got a Marvel Rivals cover mixed in there too. There was one of those Marvel Comics Presents where your characters are reading other Marvel comic books. In this case, that Fantastic Four book that I just mentioned, which is actually pretty good, in my opinion, at least. But we got that option there with Gwenpool and our little land shark dude. We've also got this option here, Ryan Gonzalez, and then yet another option here. Just a lot of covers. What kid is going to buy all these covers? So you're selling these to adults? If you're a grown adult, man or woman, why are you buying all these Jeff the Land Shark books? Really? Who's it for? MODOK on the 1 in 25? Guess that's kind of fun. And then we've also got a Virgin 1 in 100 of that cover A. I don't know. I'm really struggling to see. It's an all ages book. So who are you marketing this to? Do also want to sell 1 in 100 variants to? I don't know. Moving on. I also don't know who the hell this is for. Spider-Verse versus Venomverse. It's just way too much. I just can't. I guess this is for Power Ranger fans. That's the only thing I can think of. Anybody who can keep up with the lore of Power Rangers probably loves this, because you have how many different kinds of Power Rangers? Ninja Rangers and Dinosaur Rangers and this Ranger. Well, why not have the 90 different versions of Spider-Man fighting 90 different versions of Venom? It's too much for me. That said, this is issue 3. You got a B cover. You got a 1 in 25. Roll with whatever one you like, but it's not for me. Moving on. Wolverine. Already tapped out on Wolverine. I've explained this many times over the last few weeks. Why? But also, I don't love this cover A. It's just kind of basic. I don't know. I'm just not loving it. Plus, all right, Wolverine versus Sabretooth for the 9 millionth time. Okay, cool. I do like the 1 in 25, though. This Lozano cover is pretty cool. I will admit that. But outside of that, no mas. Moving on. New number ones. All right, so we don't have a lot of new number ones, but we do have a handful to cover, and we're going to get to them right here. We're coming in the home stretch already on this show, so don't worry. Here we go. New number ones. We've got Flash All In Bad Moon Rising special. I guess this is going to kick off a new storyline here where you got some Eclipso stuff, new ally who I think is going to be the Shade. So I don't know how surprising it is. You put it right on the cover. It's not a surprise if you put it on the cover. You put it in the book if you want it to be a surprise. But with that said, it's part 4 of Bad Moon Rising. So wrapping it up. I'm not keeping up with the Flash. That Spurrier run, it lost me when I tried to pick this up. Try to pick it up in the middle. I'm like, there's Warlord here. There's like 100 different Wallies. I don't know what the hell is going on. But new number 1 there. Tex Arcanum, 1 of 4. So we're starting a new miniseries here down in Texas. Horror Noir meets Elmore Leonard in the Mystic Midwest. I read that one line. I am kind of curious because I love Elmore Leonard. I don't know. I can rock a good Elmore Leonard novel. Out of Sight, Rum Punch. What do you call it? Jackie Brown, the movie. But yeah, Elmore Leonard, you got my attention. With that, I don't know if I'm going to get this book, but could be curious. Godzilla. So we got a brand new Godzilla. I don't like this idea of a human with Godzilla powers, though. I'll try it, see what it's like. It is Tim Seeley. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I do like Tim Seeley. So I'll check it out. But the synopsis doesn't have me excited. That's all I'm going to say. We got a cover A. We've got, here's more explanation on the title. Some cool covers here. There we go. We got a B. We got Art Adams there. Pretty solid on the Adams. There's also a green sketch cover. We got a real close-up that I didn't know that it was. I thought it was Doomsday for a second, but I guess it's Godzilla. But yeah, real zoom in spot there. There's also a foil edition of that cover A if you want to get the shiny foil version of it. And then we've got virgin versions of the other covers that are our incentives. So here's our 1 in 50. And then we've got another virgin here for the 1 in 100. So we've got that. And then, yeah, there's even a 1 in 150 if you want to get that Art Adams without trade dress. So, yeah, maybe something to keep an eye on. But I think there's just so many covers and so many different books. This may get lost in the sauce. But we'll see. I do dig it, though. I like the Adams. It's probably my favorite of the bunch. And yeah, 1 in 150 is kind of enticing, but except for the price. I can't be messing with that right now. With that said, interesting concept. Cal exit. So going over to Black Mass, it's kind of a secession story. What if California decided to secede? I can't speak right now. From the Union. Like they're like, all right, we're out of here. All right, could happen. What do they call this for? Speculative fiction? Doesn't seem so speculative anymore. It's still speculative fiction. California's not going nowhere. But I do like this. You got the cover A. The B cover is really just a nighttime version of cover A, which is kind of cool. And then we got weird incentives. We got a 1 in 3 with our one-legged protagonist, I guess. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know. But the Battle for Universal City seems interesting because this is the 1 in 3. I really dig the 1 in 5. I don't know. Something really cool about this cover. It gives me like a Metal Gear kind of vibe. I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty lately. I dig this cover. So I like this one a lot, this 1 in 5. There is a 1 in 10. So you can go that route. There is also a 1 in 25. And then we also take that 1 in 25, make it black and white, and that will be our 1 in 50. So sorry, I sped through that. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not done yet. We've got to take that cover A and make that black and white, and that will be our 1 in 100. Cool? Cool. Moving on. Look into my eyes. I don't know exactly what this title is going to be about. I think it's something to do with a hospital, Cravenwood, a seemingly quiet town hidden with dark secrets. We got mystery, high school student. I don't know. Just this cover, I like it, and it's intriguing. It's like a messed up Wednesday Addams. I don't know, but I'm interested. There is a B cover as well. So Maria Lovett. I like the cover A, though. Moving on. The Sixth Gun. I don't know. Oni's giving us this Sixth Gun. It looks like we're getting all kinds of weird stuff. 1866. The ruins of a failed Confederate uprising. And I don't know what's going on here. 15 years. After 15 years and a million bullets, there's more stuff coming. Whatever. Colin Bunn. We've got a lot of text here. I'm not reading all that. But part of this acclaimed saga, self-contained entry point. Okay. I already feel lost as far as an entry point goes. But here we go. Battle for the Six. You got a cover A. You got a cover B. You've got a cover C, or one, I'm sorry, a 1 in 10, along with a sketch cover. We've also got a 1 in 20, which is a foil with just the symbols on it. And then we've also got that 1 in 50, that's the cover A, but with black and white. Cool. Moving on. Facsimiles. So Facsimiles up next. Not a lot here, just a couple. So if you want to get your Facsimiles this week, you only got a couple options. Starting off first with a 2025 edition of Franklin Richards' Son of a Genius, featuring Herbie. Yeah, I say this is a good dollar bin digging type book to go look for because it sells kind of well sometimes. You get like 10 to 15 bucks on the original, but here we go with a facsimile. I guess you can buy that. I'm not saying that you need it for the read. I'm saying it's a good book to hunt for. Now, this is going to mix things up when people are hunting because I'm going to start finding the new one. With that said, if you still need to get those classic X books, here's a good way to do it. Cheaper way to do it. $137. Yes, special double size issue. Still don't know, who won this $2,500 or those bikes that they had as giveaways back in the day. There is a 1 in 25. Pretty cool. Actually, I do like the art, even though I don't like the idea of different art on a facsimile cover. I do like this cover by Torn & Clark. Just saying. Moving on. Later prints. So with later prints, we also only have a couple here. Not a lot to get into, but we do have a couple if you need to play catch up. I believe Death of Silver Surfer issue 1. I liked it. I'm biased. I like Surfer. So you got the Ron Lim here, and they took the Travis Moore and took the trade dress off, made it a virgin. That's the 1 in 25. If you want to spend the extra bucks. Yes, Mark Spears Monsters, issue 2. There is a third print for issue 2. Werewolf. There is also a 1 in 20 if you want to go the incentive route there. I like the distressed look there. It is pretty cool. It will probably cost you a few extra bucks to get this, though. Up to you if you want to go that route. Later prints, I can't keep up with the later prints and the later prints incentives, but it is a pretty cool cover. If I found it cheap enough, maybe, but it's already 1 in 20, so if it were cover price, I might think more about it. That's just me. Just can't buy everything. Let's get on to those Retrovision covers I mentioned earlier. We do have a handful of them to kind of cover up, almost wrap up for the month. We have one more next week that'll finalize it all, but here's really the bulk of the last bunch. So with that, we've got Amazing Spider-Man, Dan Panosian, pretty cool. I mean, we got all the characters there. I just kind of like that it's Panosian and it does have a kind of a cool vibe to it. We've got an Iron Man book here. So Iron Man for that final issue versus Warmonger. Cool. Moon Knight was supposed to come out last week, but we're getting it this week. I think that's a solid cover. I like that. I'm still getting the plat, but otherwise, this would be my pick for the cover. Phoenix. It's okay. Michael Cho. It's okay. I feel like the trade dress has too much empty space up there. Maybe we throw some more of those blown up rocks. It would fill it out better. I don't know. Psylocke. I dig this one with her jumping out of the brick wall. I like it. Issue 9. It is one of my. I like all the distressing too. It is a pretty cool look. Storm. It's all right. It's okay. Not my favorite of the bunch, but it's okay. Same with the Wolverine. It's not my favorite. Has kind of a classic vibe to it, but yeah. But like I said, that's it. One more book, Incredible Hulk next week by Eric Larson, and then it's all done. I like the idea. Hopefully they do these again, but I would like to see a little bit more variety in how they do it. I feel like some of them were just a little bit lazy. Like, we'll just make it look retro with the trade dress, and other than that, it didn't really capture that vibe of it being retro. I don't know. With that said, Superman, the movie. Yes, I finally just saw it. I've said it a few times already during the show, but we also got a couple of covers this week. So they've been sneaking these out every so often. So here we go. On Batman 161, there's a weird Clark sitting on a cloud. I don't know how that's physically possible because it's gas, but he's sitting on a cloud. Cool. Then we just got him flying here. Not terrible. I mean, but Frank Whiteley, Superman. I like the movie. Moving on. Cheesecake covers. We do got a few here, so we'll try to get through these pretty quickly because, you're going to look at it. That's really the point. The point is just to look at them. Not a lot to say. Not a lot to read, I guess. Though I know some people read some of these books. Like, I'm not reading Barbarella, but I'm sure there are people who are reading this, and there is a movie coming, I think, starring Sydney Sweeney, so Could be interesting. I don't know. But there's a Linsner on the cover A. Solid option there. We got another option there. We got an Akira homage here. And we've got a cosplay cover. So there, plenty of options for you Barbarella fans. Red Sonja attacks Mars. Linsner again. We got a Jay Lee. We've got a Greg Land. And no cosplay for this one. Vampirella, Armageddon. So we're getting a new #1 storyline for Armageddon. It's like following up Vampirella Strikes or something. I don't know. I'm not a big Vampirella leader. I asked Jedi Johnson what's going on, and he can explain it to me one of these days. But Matina on that first cover A. Oh, there's more text. And then you can see here, we got a few other options here. Lyrics Lee, pretty cool. Yes, another Linsner. It's Dynamite after all. You got to have a Linsner. I think it's in the contract. No matter what it is, you got to have a Linsner. Then we do got a cosplay here. So there you go. This title, I think, used to be a Kickstarter, and I think there are some naughty versions of these Devil's Due books out there, but they're not being released this week. But I saw pictures of naughty versions of all these, so just know that they are out there if that's your thing. Circuit's Seduction Revenge, #1. That's the A. B, not bad. C cover, also pretty cool. D cover, also kind of fun. And again, there's naughty versions of all of them, and they all look, pretty solid. I have no idea really what this storyline's about. It said something about it was like the Matrix, and then there's, I don't know, who knows. Moving on, Hot Valley Days and Cocaine Nights, Part 2 of 3. This story was already released, but it's being released again. I guess to sell these covers, but this time through Keenspot. I don't think Keenspot did it the first time. I think another publisher had it. But anyway, this cover was popular, as you can guess why. And not only did you have this cover, there was also a Not Suitable for Everybody, an adults only version of it that will also be redone. So you can guess what's underneath that black bar. Speaking of Not Suitable for Everyone, Money Shot. I enjoy this storyline. I enjoy reading these. These are silly. They're fun. I don't know why. Call me weird. I like them. But again, Tim Seeley, Patton Oswalt. It's funny stuff. Yeah, cover A. I like the cover B option here too. I don't know. They usually have these polybagged, sealed bagged like versions that are not suitable for everyone. I don't know if they're continuing those or kind of cutting the cord on them. I don't know. Maybe they're not doing well enough. I keep buying them, but I guess my money is not enough. But I do like that cover B for what it's worth. And finally, again, I have to put this Emma Frost in here because I understand. I haven't really read this yet. I didn't really like the first issue. It's not that engaging of a storyline for us to go back and like, what are we doing here, folks? Why are we going back into this time? Just, again, probably to sell covers. That's why we're going back and telling these stories from Emma Frost's past in the Hellfire Club. So you can get to sell a David Nakayama cover, which is nice, mind you. Not complaining about that. Jenny Frison, also nice cover. I get it. And then we've got, I forget who did this one, but we've got a third option here. And then we've got incentives too that you might want to sell. 1 in 25, as well as a 1 in 100 virgin version of that Jenny Frison. Sure, do that as well. And yeah, but that's why it's in the Cheesecake section. We know people are buying these for the covers, which is why it confused me for the Jeff books. With that said, we're a couple more covers just to kind of cover before we call it a day here. Just some things that stood out to me. They don't really have a place anywhere else. I just like the art. Figured it was worth a shot and worth a shout out. The B cover here on Usagi Yojimbo, the 1,000 Plums, issue 5 of 5. I just like the trees. It's the colors. It's nice. Samurai rabbit. Cool. Jennifer Meyer on that one. Christian Ward giving us a pretty cool Captain Planet cover. I don't read Captain Planet. Can't believe we're getting a series out of this coming to Netflix. I was surprised enough that comic book came back. But here we go. A lot of covers. Because we got a Ben Oliver too. That's not bad. And we've got that Christian Ward. Sorry for the extra animations. That was unnecessary, but I was trying to scramble to get this done. Silverhawks. We got a Spears cover. Pretty cool. Also on Silverhawks, we've got a cover by Manic Sabrera that I also thought was pretty fun. Space Ghost. not reading Space Ghost, but Space Ghost always has good covers. We got a Matina. We've got who else we got doing covers on this? We got a Jay Lee. So you got Jay Lee doing a cover, and then we've got Bjorn Barons giving us a solid cover, and then we've got a more cartoony style Anthony Marquez, which again, still pretty good for Space Ghost. I like them all. I'm not reading it, not a big Space Ghost guy, but these are pretty cool on this annual. Mark Spears also giving us a Vampire Armageddon cover, Vampirella Armageddon cover, even though there's no Vampirella to be found. It looks like it's just his monster characters, which is cool. It's almost like a crossover cover. Randomly, Seasons issue 6. So the next story arc of that season storyline, I don't know if I'm going to keep up with reading it, but I do like this 1 in 15 cover by Danny. Apparently it was drawn 2 years ago, but I like it nonetheless. Phoenix. So Phoenix number 13. Again, not currently reading this title, but we've got a Lucas Wernick. Got Cable fighting our Jean Grey here. We got a Forbes on the 1 in 25, which is also pretty solid. Yeah, I don't know. I like it, but it's not the best. For that, let's get into the best of the week. And for me, the best of the week are these 2 books. Feel free to tell me what your favorite covers of the week and variant and regular open order cover are down below in the comments. But for me and my money, these 2 are my favorites. I had to do some hemming and hawing to figure it out. But like I said, that Cal Exit 1 in 5, something about it I just really, really like. So this Dusky Loveless, unknown artist to me, don't know that name, but I will be something I'll be watching because I like the look of this. It's got a little bit of an anime vibe. Like I said, feels a little bit Metal Gear, a little bit manga. I just like it. Also, Jeff DeCall hits one out of the park every once in a while. And I shouldn't say every once in a while. More often than not. There are a couple of misses, I will admit, but this is a good one to me. I like this Black Cat. You can't go wrong here on Spidey number 8, especially when you compare it to that JR8 cover. Hands down, this one surpasses it. So my favorite covers of the week. You let me know what the best covers of the week that you think are, but that's all I got for you. Still trying to get this down to an hour. Went a little bit long, but I still appreciate you hanging out with me for this time. Maybe I got to pick up the pace. Maybe I got to cut some more books out. One way or another, I'm going to get this back to an hour or under an hour pretty soon. It's just, I'm doing what I can. Summertime schedule has been crazy. My son's schedule is just running me ragged, taking him to practices and meets and all that stuff. But with all that said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a while, and I'll see you all soon with some more content. All right.